bought a white leather bag, and then I woke up the next morning.
Welcome to this final episode of this session of our 5, 10, 20 game. These players will be playing for another 40 minutes or so. And then next week we'll give you new players, new game.
Hey, K6 has 10-6.
Still,
He
be
almost had
excited.
K6. He almost had K6.
Danny not going to allow this limp to happen.
DM5 not going to allow himself to fold.
I'm just gonna have to get
A bag for your roll?
I mean, look at these hands.
There's something else.
Three players.
They're pretty new.
Huh.
A little bit of something for everybody there. There's a straight flush draw for Danny.
That
That's
one
really nice.
50.
Team 5 with a pair and a
Better be.
bad flush draw, and
Call.
he is absolutely going to call.
This is an awkward spot for 10-6, and K6 just gets rid of it. I get that for sure.
Heads up.
Oh, K6, what have you done?
Check.
Danny checks and goes check, check, and K6 now knows he folded the best hand for sure.
Is it like a card bag or is it a carry?
Carry bag. I have a card bag.
Check, check.
And that is a $560 pot.
Oh, really?
Won by
It's like going to the
bottom
races.
pair, no kicker. Wonderful.
You can
I
see
mean,
good times.
K6 kind of leaning back in his
You're
chair
way
there.
back, but
Not
that's
super
pretty
happy.
good.
Carry. So much.
Yeah, look at the pain. You can feel the pain there.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Walking and pushing a card.
Two
top
It sucks to fold the best hand.
I just got tired of the picking the clubs up part. You know,
10, 9, 7 of
Setting down,
diamonds.
picking
And
it
I
up.
had the 8 of diamonds, he had the 5 of
you
diamonds.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I folded my 10 with
I'm
2
not on the
hearts.
best back for my age,
Ah.
but I still want to
Fold.
carry more.
Fold.
I mean, I still have really nice push cards. So
Right back on the train.
The limping train. And we'll see if Danny's back on the raising train.
I expect he will be,
Yeah, with ace-9, that's ahead of K6's range.
for sure.
Raise. 65. Call.
And DM5 is back on the calling train, although this time with a hand that anybody would put money in with. Almost anybody, at least.
Fold.
All 3 players, last time getting in with Zip and
Three
Pip.
players.
This time getting in with
All right, Vince Van
Pip
Patten.
and Squip. I wasn't done.
Hey, a
top-
10.
Top pair for K6. I don't think he's going to go folding top pair again.
Carry
Bet
type
100.
bag.
Danny's going to take a shot on this dry board. Hope everybody just folds. He does have the ace of spades as a backup.
That's really, he's going to need it.
Heads up.
Wait, he's got the
Yeah,
spade.
it's a
I
cheaper
think this
spade.
is a bluff opportunity.
200.
it was like
200 is kind of smaller than I expected.
K6
Very
says
fast call.
No interest in folding there. And
Check.
will Danny bluff this?
I'm going to go with no. But I've been wrong before, and
You
I'm
are-
wrong again.
You are wrong again.
Can K6 find the call? Danny's repping an overpair, but it's freaking Danny.
Every fucking time.
Oh, and he gets him to fold. Both times K6 gets him to fold. Oh, the pain.
The power of Danny.
And he's just willing to triple barrel.
Did you have a boat?
Do you think
Danny?
that's a call
Nope.
by K6 there on the river? You think he's supposed to make that call? It's a tough spot.
It's a tough
You have a
spot.
lot of boats there, though.
Spade comes in on the turn. Danny doesn't seem afraid of it. He keeps betting all the way. The queen comes in. That's Queen 10 gets there and was already beating us. No, actually, we were beating it, but now Queen 10 comes in.
Or any queen that was just firing away.
Yeah, Danny would probably continue. Hey, Jeremy has the Cowboys.
That's cool.
King Kong.
60.
The ace magnets. K6 not going to play this one. Wise when Jeremy opens under the gun, I think. Potential 3 bets behind. DM5 just loves playing poker.
I mean, his ace is live
Yeah.
somehow, some way. I don't know how, but it's live.
All these
Yeah,
3s
you
are not
realize a
super
little
live due
speed
to
difference, too.
DM5's hand.
That makes it even more hidden.
Who that?
Ace 3 does flop a gut shot here, and I don't expect him to be folding unless Jeremy goes really big.
Jeremy, you know, you don't love it when you're called with by this many people, but this is a pretty
100?
safe flop.
Yeah, you're basically only losing to whatever DM5 might have called with, making 2 pair or a set.
Yeah. And it's really just a set of 5s instead of deuces even.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty good.
You expect
He's thinking
DM5.
about this?
I can't be.
Yeah, okay.
You expect DM5 has a lot of jacks in his range here, and
Yeah.
is a pure value play at this point for Jeremy. Depending on the turn. That's a pretty good turn, although 3-4 gets there.
That's true. We'll see if Jeremy checks or bets here. With
Okay.
DM5 specifically, who's going to often fire, but he just checks it right back.
The 10, I think, is a worse card than the 6
Yep.
because it makes more 2-pair combos for DM5's jacks.
I mean, really just Jack 10
Well, yeah, but I think the face cards in the 10s are worse cards than the straighting cards, is what I'm saying in general.
Jeremy's just like, all right, I'm just going to bet, fold, and bet to try and get value out of a Jack, and hate it if he raises.
Yep, you're going to have to fold if he raises, but he's not folded, and Jeremy gets to win the pot.
Fold.
Hey, it's Danny's turn with the kings, and
Raise,
that's dangerous.
65.
DM5.
Call.
What could he have?
Fold.
A7 off.
Jonathan, did you get that? I added 1,000.
Here we go again.
He's once again live. with
All
the-
aboard.
Heads up.
He is live. That ace is live. And big miss.
Expect
Bet 100.
he's just going to fold.
Fold.
There it goes.
Got a monster. Big kings.
And he has a lot of money in front of him. You may remember if you were watching earlier episodes, he made a huge hand. Well, he made trip 5s, I believe it was, against Stewart's pocket kings to win an $8,000 pot.
Yeah, that was a really tough spot for
40.
Stewart.
Yep. It was an understandable call.
We ended up thinking he made the right call based on the blocker to the flush that he had.
Fold.
Then he got full value.
And Danny is blind
Raise
raising under the
150.
gun. Stewart with a
Fold.
monster this time.
Fold.
He's
Fold.
going to probably get called by Danny.
Oh, he's definitely getting called by Danny. Danny's played every hand
That's true.
of this episode.
That is true.
Yeah.
Good flop for Stewart. Very comfortable feeling flop.
Check.
You could check back against Danny, although he sometimes just shuts it down. He doesn't always give action.
115. Fold.
Get in.
Obviously, it's fine to bet as well.
Yeah.
Stewart a little disappointed there. Did not get a chunk of Danny's wall of chips.
He ever wants his chips.
Lots of them, yeah.
Okay, that's enough
Yeah.
out of you. Okay.
DM5 definitely playing this hand under the gun, knowing DM5.
I mean,
Raise 60.
he would call a raise with it, so why wouldn't he raise with it himself?
Hey, Stewart's getting all the hands now. DM5 open under the gun, but that doesn't necessarily mean he has a super strong hand, as we know.
Still.
Raise.
Still, 3 betting is
Fold.
reasonable.
Also, there are guys at this table who will call 3-bet, specifically Danny.
Fold.
Jeremy would have called, but you know he's just going to set mine anyway.
Fold.
Yeah.
And you don't really. And DM5's going to call, so this is
Yeah.
a great spot for Stewart.
There aren't too many losses
Heads up.
for Stewart here.
Well, that is
Wow.
such a good flop. DM5 is going to call at least 1 bet.
Probably 2.
Stewart, I imagine, will bet to protect against diamonds and get value from them.
I'm thinking it's going to be a down bet, but
oh,
he just checks.
He checks it. Interesting.
He's
okay.
afraid he's crushing the board too much. DM5 now thinks he has the best hand. Oh, maybe not king. That's his problem, but time for Stewart to start betting now, though.
Pretty nice to have the nuts still on the turn with aces.
Yep.
Bet 150.
DM5 cannot fold
Yeah.
unless he's just the best field player in the history of the world.
Stewart goes small there. If it's a safe card, I expect Stewart to size up significantly.
It's not totally safe, but it's not that
Pretty
scary.
safe. It's pretty safe.
3-5 is pretty unlikely.
3-5 of diamonds, that's it, which might lead the turn or raise the turn. I think it's time to go for significant value.
Yeah, I
here.
think 600 plus is what you go for and hope that DM5 finds a hero call.
At least 500. Now maybe Stewart's concerned that DM5 just has a king and he's going to try and get value out of a king instead.
Bet
Yeah, I think
300.
he's probably putting DM5 and a king as played. And
300, that's
looks
what it
like what
feels
he's targeting, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It does. It does. It doesn't feel like DM5 has a very strong hand, and you block all the aces, except for the one that's in DM5's hand. So, very reasonable.
Stewart didn't bet the flop, so it's hard to put him on a flush draw. DM5 is going to call anyway.
Pretty good.
It's going to show the ace. Nope. He decided not to.
He was about to. He lifted it up, but
He's like, I'm better than that.
he's like,
I don't
yeah, there's no point.
know. I know. I
Who
don't-
cares?
Case ace.
Case
just,
ace.
just lands there.
Nice pot for Stewart.
Uh,
Climbing out of the grave.
I wonder if DM5 calls 500 or 600 there on the river.
It's really, we will never know. It would be good to know.
I would love to know.
The real question is what's the amount he will call with a king, because that's a much more likely holding.
Mm.
And I think Stewart probably wanted to make sure he could have a chance at least to get called by those
I
hands.
think Stewart's right to target the king and not go bigger.
I agree.
He's right to do it.
I agree.
Fold. Fold. Call. Raise. 85. Fold.
Hey, Danny has a real hand. And he's not going to get any action.
One on with jacks?
Two red jack.
What? How's that even legal?
A lot of big pairs already in this episode.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Where is this going?
It's no, it's not where. You would never guess. Have the last couple years been the best years of your life?
It's a good one.
I mean, I think that that's very relative to like what
Yeah.
point I was at in my life.
I
But
know. That's why it's a completely subjective question. In your mind, have the last couple years been the best years of your life?
It's a good one.
Call. Fold.
yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Wow,
I think
there's
that-
so
I
much
think,
suffering in the world.
I think-
You just over I'm just kidding.
I think that ever since I got married, it's probably been the best part of my life.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Isn't that incredible?
How long have you been married?
Danny did not fold jacks, by the way. That was a vestige of last hand.
Check. Check.
Made much better pick.
Aldi has a flush and a straight flush
After
draw.
getting married.
Yes.
We don't know what the M5 has.
A little check
Well,
on the
he probably has the
degeneracy.
best hand.
Yeah.
The M5 could have a slightly better flush, but no.
Flop it. My hand.
And a flush.
Straight was good.
Good enough. Flush is overkill.
I get a white claw.
Thank you.
They're gonna take zero.
Stewart's going to get on that claw train.
Stuart loves to claw back. That's what he calls it
Yeah.
when he drinks White Claws.
Yeah, right.
So
financial
And then he does
value.
like a little roar thing. Yeah, it's scary. It's actually scary. You would think it wouldn't be, but he pulls it
There's a
off.
lot.
I think it's more of a growl than a roar, but
It's, you know, it's hard to for me to
Dentures?
define. All I know is that
Monster would be-
I get a little fear in my heart.
Mm.
Call. Fold. Fold. Whoops. 9 of diamonds. My bad. Fold. Fold.
Aldi once again limping a
not
small
affect
pair in early position, just like last hand.
Option. Check. 3 fives.
I'm adding 5.
There's a 9 for Stewart, backdoor flush draw for Mike, and under pair for Aldi. Nobody loving that card.
I'm getting it.
Check.
Mike's gonna just take a stab
55.
with ace high. Interesting.
Fold.
Just equity denial, trying to fold out a slightly better ace, but mostly just getting rid of the riffraff.
Stuart calls and has just what you'd think he'd have when
Sure.
he check calls there.
Yep. Hard to imagine Stewart doing anything but bet it or checking, and he does.
Fine.
So it's really glad there was another bet coming in there, though.
Did you hear that, Jonathan?
No.
David's added 500.
Thank you.
We return.
Of the Jedi.
No. We're not allowed
You guys
to
know your
use that
summer plans
footage.
yet?
TM.
Summer plans?
Trademark.
That's what TM stands for
Yeah.
in most
Next
cases.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what R stands for?
Not entirely. No.
Real
Why?
trademark.
Summer plans.
I was just
No.
curious if you guys were gonna get a
Rights
house.
reserved.
No.
Yeah.
You said
Or
2
trademark
R words and
law.
neither of them were correct.
Republican.
Getting
It
closer.
does, in some cases, stand for that. You know, when you're watching
Yeah,
election
right.
coverage.
Right.
Leaning
What does the
towards
R mean in that? When it's-
Restricted.
End of an era.
You're restricted to not talking
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't know. Well,
Korean Mike putting some money in here.
it's one of
With
those
the
things
call.
that's like, if I don't go
After
well,
the
I go
DM5
back,
raise
it's
with
hard to-
6-5.
You know, it's DM5. He likes
DM5. This
he
one.
likes
This is who he
poker.
is.
I'm not
This is
ready to
his
sit down.
identity.
He likes poker.
But at the end of last year, I
Hey, that's a flop
100%
for
was
Mike.
not going back.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Thank you.
Aldi with the mystery hand.
Check.
That's always fun.
Yeah. Bet 100.
DM5
Why
going
are
to
we
deny
not-
equity with the 6 there.
Stalking.
Definitely not folding Mike.
Really?
No doubt. I can't imagine how
Yeah.
exhausting it is on your side.
Looks like
It's
Mike
really
mostly has calls
exhausting
here.
and
Yeah,
just
there it
doesn't
is.
feel
Could raise, but it's
Worth
hard to rep
this
much.
stress.
Sometimes it doesn't matter if your opponent has
Yeah.
nothing, but
You're mostly repping pocket sixes, pocket sevens if you raise.
I didn't make
looks
it
like
down this year.
Aldi.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a call. That's those are $25.
So it feels like
chips.
Aldi probably has like king jack, king queen.
Yeah, or a weaker flush draw,
Oh yeah.
or
way
4-5, which just got there,
Yeah, it's the
Way
way
back.
for the
Excellent
players,
point.
it's like
If
a
Aldi
million
suddenly
times
leads,
better
look
for
out
the
below.
experience. Check.
and above.
Is it not
Yeah,
over
sure.
at 4?
Everywhere. Look out everywhere.
Yeah, nobody is
Yeah.
aware of how important
Well,
it is to
no,
look out
like,
above. That's a
logistics of
bad
our
card
side
for
is
Mike.
Well, Mike misses everything.
Yeah,
So
Moving
yes.
between the ballrooms.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good card for
all of our
Aldi.
chips
Feels
in
like
one
Aldi's
room,
probably got the best
but
hand a
all of
lot
it
here.
Yep.
to another.
Like Trip Kings feels right there.
I don't see how you could call his DM5 here.
125.
I don't see how you could
With
ever
Mike
call it.
behind him
Yeah.
too, you just hate it.
It was ridiculous.
Mike could have a bad
I
king.
didn't-
Well, no, you
I-
really can't.
I
Can you?
couldn't wear my
So first week
like
was
my
Aldi often
jacket.
shows it. Not
I
this
didn't-
time
I
though.
wore 2 times the entire
Well, we'll
time.
never know if Aldi had
was
the
so
8-9, the
Weaker
8-5,
diamonds.
weaker diamonds, or 4-5, or
In the
most likely Trip
salary,
Kings.
Trip Kings feels like the most likely.
Yep.
Specifically. It was ridiculous hot, and I'm walking like 20 miles.
You haven't talked about Jeremy's hair once this
Exaggeration.
episode.
The movement
Just
was-
noticed that.
That's you. You're the guy who does that.
40?
So it gets a little
On an
exaggerated.
average day.
You got
it's
40,
like,
I'm at
wow.
60.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, they're putting in
Makes
more
you
blind
feel
raises.
better.
40-60.
We're up to
During the
$60
main
blind
event,
raise.
Is that what Danny put in
I
there?
believe so.
Looks like DM5 is
Somebody
gonna
was talking
put in.
shit?
Somebody's talking shit.
Oh,
Is that a
wow.
cited call?
Just
He
like,
called
nope.
without
Not her.
looking, or did he look?
I think he looked,
And
but
Stewart has kings. What a joy.
there's already $195 in this pot, and
Raise 310.
oh, there's more now.
Go, go.
Danny's gonna call. I'm pretty sure DM5 is gonna call
They're
too.
in the box.
They're
They're
right
in
in
the
the
box.
You got him jiggling around.
Stewart goes pretty big, but Danny's definitely gonna call.
Yes.
I mean, 5x isn't crazy. of course,
Maybe
here.
maybe Danny will fold,
Nah.
and then DM5 will fold.
Danny's calling. I don't know what DM5's doing.
Oh,
Danny is
Jeremy's
calling.
got ace queen. This could get
Oh,
really nasty.
My. So interesting spot for Jeremy.
You could absolutely 3-bet, and that's probably the correct
I
play.
think you're probably supposed to 3-bet here,
And then
but 3-betting
to-
basically commits you to this pot. Jeremy
He just folds. He just
folds.
didn't want to deal with it. And what a good. Oh, and we got a call from K6 with an unknown hand. Interesting.
My God.
And this pot is massive.
And
Danny
we even
tucked
bring in
into
DM5 with the 5-4 offsuit. We got 1.3K in the middle.
Four
Here we
Play a
go.
big one, guys.
Jeremy
Yeah, might as
really
well.
dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
probably
my
is hating it
gosh.
right now.
But he dodged even more of a bullet. If
Yeah.
somehow if he's just called, for example, like,
oh, he's getting stacked unless he improves. Yeah. And looks like K6 is going to lead. What does he have? Does he have a set? Does he have a queen?
it's a big bet.
He's betting into 3 opponents in a juiced up pot.
I mean, I guess it isn't really a big bet, is it? He doesn't have 1.9K in
No,
front of
he-
him. That's wrong.
he
He
bet-
has like 1,000 in front of him to start the hand.
I think he might have 1.9. Some of those might be black
Oh, maybe you're right.
because he bet 300 in black there and 500 in green. And Stewart,
Oh, he bet 800.
yeah, Stewart can't fold, but it's uncomfortable. King queen is blocked. That's like it feels like the most likely hand.
I
that
mean,
you could be beating.
Are we supposed to believe K6 is just donking big with like a set of 8s?
I think it's less likely than one pair hands, but I would be concerned about that.
I think we just have to suck it up and take the loss if it happens and rock and roll if we're Stewart.
I think Stewart's probably going to move in here and hope for the side from K6 and not the snap call.
Well, the snap call is always going to be bad here.
yeah.
But you figure you're just paying it off on the turn anyway if he's got you, so who cares?
I mean, Jeremy has had a queen. We know that as the audience.
true.
That makes it slightly less likely that K6 just has top
But it's
pair.
still more likely as that than pocket 8s or pocket 3s.
Yes, it is.
And there aren't really any 2-pair combos that seem reasonable.
There's no draws.
Colin.
All in.
There it is.
Call.
Oh, he
Insta
snap
called.
called. Uh-oh.
And it is.
It's a queen. He
It's
must-
king queen.
Queen?
Yep.
One
the heavy-
Okay.
He had a plan. He
Yeah,
snap called.
he knew he was snapping. The problem is when you bet so much, Stewart, I think, is only moving in for value on that board. No extra outs or
Just
equity.
a queen, and Jeremy folded one,
Yeah.
and that's a 5K pot for Stewart.
Wow.
It's nice when you get the big pair and you get to win in the super juiced up quadruple, quintuple straddled pots there, huh?
That is really
And
nice.
is Stewart all the way
Nice hand.
back? Is he back to even?
Good game, Bryce.
I think he is. That's going to do it for K6.
Understandable. He had a bit of a rough session there.
Yeah. This episode, he's just sort of been making all the wrong moves, it seems.
Yeah.
Good game, Bryce.
Folded top pair multiple times incorrectly. When he finally made top pair and it was no good, that's the time he got it all in.
That was the exact same two
Alright,
kings
so
I had
what
against
was
you.
fucking shit? Who was fucking shit?
Oh, you're welcome.
Tanner,
Random
Tanner
guy
and
at the
I.
table.
And we get to
You were,
see
like,
the
on a
results, and
different
Stewart is
board.
actually
is.
up over $1,000 now.
Wow.
And
Climbed all the way
said
back.
something about,
Look
like,
at Danny's stack.
she's probably not going to get it right.
Being
anyway.
funded by K6 because
just
obviously
like-
these numbers don't add up, and he's no longer on the
Right.
board
Is
there.
that what happened?
That's
Yeah,
what
you
led
were.
to it.
It's probably
Okay.
one of the
That's
best
what I
floors
thought
in this
happened,
entire
but I
fucking
wasn't
building.
positive.
I didn't say
about it.
fucking, but I was
Yeah.
like,
I wasn't
this
gonna
entire
ask.
building.
Thank you.
And I was just like, you're wrong.
The M5 loves that 6-5 and all other hands.
I made a
It's
pair
just
on
like,
that
alright.
part too.
I mean, they're connected, right?
Yeah.
They're
He
both
knows the
red.
rules better than anybody that I
They're
know.
of similar color.
And then he
Yeah.
just showed up. So, you know that.
Thanks.
Looks like Aldi's got something he wants to play with. Queen Jack.
Call. Fold.
Don't see Danny folding here.
During the main, this guy was like,
Jeremy was so
my,
happy he
uh,
folded that ace queen
my
right now.
stack's
Yeah.
100K short.
Probably the wrong theoretical
after
play, but it
chip-up.
worked out great for him.
I mean, he
Prepay.
read the situation right, or he was just afraid. But either way, it worked out.
Yeah, whichever one it was.
Wait, what?
I said I was patting myself on the back and he could fold me.
What do you have?
You know, there's a lot of dead heroes out there.
It doesn't matter.
There sure are.
You'll find
I've
out.
been those dead heroes.
Yeah.
Talking smack about Devin at the series.
They were, yeah, during the main.
Get him.
I mean, it wasn't so
DM5
much
just
that she
trying
was
straight up
talking- she was
larceny.
talking smack about her.
Is that the proper use of that term?
More
Yeah.
talking smack about
I
think
get a
it
little
is.
confused with all the different types of stealing that people can do and what the
Burglary,
legal
larceny,
terms.
yeah.
What's
her
larceny?
specifically.
The floors at the World Series are not the problem. It's
Yeah, that's the one I know the least.
You know, it's stealing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's stealing money. It's stealing money from folk.
Right.
But it isn't like
And
you're not
that's
breaking into their
that's why
house. It's
his
something
comment
else.
didn't
It's,
make
I think
sense
it's
in the
more
first place.
like
It
There's, like,
also
petty-
doesn't make
company
sense
based,
because
like
obviously
Oh, is it?
her-
You're just
Sure.
making shit up now.
commercial based. I mean, I don't think there's no larceny if you like break into someone's
Yeah,
home, right?
Absolutely.
That's burglary, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Yeah,
There was- I
Anyway,
had
looks like DM5 is just running a pure bluff here, and it might just
it's gonna
work.
work. It's gonna work.
an absolute train wreck of a
Gotcha.
dealer on day 2.
Nice.
It was like,
Theft.
yeah.
Theft is just like
Who-
person,
who wants to
right, person to
fold
person,
in action
or does theft
now?
encompass all of it?
I think that's
like
everything.
counting chips wrong.
It's like
Yeah.
you can kill someone, and then there's all the different
like
ways.
yeah.
Same thing with theft.
There's a lot of
wildly.
So what are the other ones besides burglary and
And you can just see
larceny?
it, like I walk by and I
Um,
can just see it, and I don't like to like
I mean,
mess with the dealer.
would
but when I
embezzlement
see them
count?
counting it wrong,
I
just
guess.
That's the type of
immediately
stuff.
You
like,
embezzle,
nope,
yeah.
Nope.
That's like a
But
really
they do-
specific
they-
one.
Here's
There's
our
a restart
pre-flop
through
raise
of
percentages.
dealers, but
Danny
they're
at
very
the top
small,
at 35%.
and they
Not a
whittle them
surprise.
down
Nope.
Year after year
Because
bad
Kevin's
pay
not
and all
here.
sorts of other things. So.
Although he
But
does a lot of
there's-
limping,
there are
Kevin.
really
Yeah.
good
So
dealers.
maybe not
They're
so
just
much
usually
PFR.
in the,
Mike's
Here,
gonna
Mike.
open it up with the
games
ace-7 off.
and
taking
the
a
restarts
page out of
chaos,
DM5's
but
book.
Also, I saw a lot of dealers dealing
Jeremy
with J5,
considered
so
it for a
it's
second for some reason with that hand.
75.
Yeah.
Danny's
everyone that I had,
definitely
like,
gonna call
day
with this hand.
4
Yeah.
on was like very,
We
like
know
very
that.
extremely
Yeah.
good.
And
Yeah.
DM5
The-
definitely
the
gonna call
No
with this
chance
hand.
of a
thing that I
fold
saw
there.
dealer do was like, this is on day 2. It was
Three players.
the dealer who's just like bad all around.
Yeah.
Someone from our table busted, and she like
There's a
had
queen for
significant
Danny
difficulty
and a 7
counting
for
which
Mike.
seat number they were in order to like pull the seat card.
Backdoor
And,
straight
it,
flush
took, it
draw.
took like a minute or something, and I just like I got pretty upset about
Yeah.
like the slowing the game down,
Yeah.
and just like and I just
120.
like sort of lost it.
120.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on, like this is
Yeah.
literally
You can
counting
do-
to 6 or something.
Yeah, and you can do that in between hands. So
Yeah.
Did anybody help him? How could it possibly have taken
Danny,
a
of
minute?
course,
It's
makes the call, and
other people at the table.
No one else.
Frame
helped.
Mike can be pretty aggressive once
Everyone just,
when he
like,
opens the
everyone just,
pot.
like,
So
watches.
be
Yeah,
interesting to
but
see if
he
he
is
keeps
like
following
the
through.
perfect slow it down
Yeah.
hand,
Yeah.
especially on that
Vegas
card.
This is in the main event.
Agreed. He also could be ahead for sure,
used to
right?
do it.
Like
Yeah, it could be
anyway.
against a weaker 7.
Yeah, or other things.
Gut
Danny
shots.
calls with a
I
lot
was
of
talking
stuff.
about main event. She's just like in general.
It's a king on the turn.
for
It's not graphic.
There it is.
series. Yeah,
It
it's
looks
not.
like Korean Mike is gonna fire. Yep, there it
So
is.
is this now a bluff?
60.
I don't
So,
know.
To try to fold
Well,
out
no,
Danny's
no,
exact hand, that type of
so
hand.
That
you
seems
know,
unlikely.
poker
Danny,
player.
not the guy who's gonna fold this exact
Every
hand. So I
weekend.
hope it isn't a bluff to fold out this hand.
But,
No flush draw could
yeah,
be picked
we
up
know
here,
that
so Mike
guy.
must now know that he's behind.
especially when
Danny
I'm
might have a
like,
really stubborn 7,
freaking-
but there's no more money to put in anyway.
I think Danny usually
Actually,
folds
we
the
did a
7 on the
picture
turn,
on
when the king comes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a terrible card for
Check.
Mike
on the-
especially.
Check.
just in case Danny had a 3, but yeah, I don't think he would.
Yeah, it was fun.
Another nice pot for Danny.
Yep.
Danny, you really think it's in poor taste to tell somebody they're down and out?
Tell somebody that they're down and out.
Down and out.
Down and
Down
yeah.
and
Down.
out. Not down
In.
and out.
Out. Yeah.
I mean, clearly, like yes. I don't think it's like that big of a deal, but like clearly yes.
I think after the hand is fine, but I think like right in that moment when
Yeah.
you're waiting for that card to come and you're like, oh please, just one queen. You're like, I folded it.
Yeah, that was
I-
pretty
Yeah.
bad.
That was like that's like the
was-
curse that will bring
yeah.
the queen against her.
Yeah, that was pretty
Maybe that's
bad.
what he wanted. I don't know.
Maybe.
I absolutely wanted the queen down.
So,
I was just
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, but you said it like
Those three
on
off.
the hand, like
said there's only one left. And I said it very quietly.
no.
We all
No, you
heard
didn't.
We all heard it.
I mean, the rest of the room might not have.
Yeah. The rest of
Amy, you hear
the
that?
random items over there. Yeah.
Hey, Stewart, don't talk shit about the room.
18.
This is the,
We're probably getting a new one, okay? We're getting a new
special
room.
room in Portland Meadows that's only used for poker time.
Yeah, I mean, look at those.
Oh.
What do we even call the stuff behind Stewart and Korean
The
Mike?
murder items.
I was just really happy that I lost the stone minimum. in that.
very
Jeremy has a hand.
'Cause I would've gotten
I was happy for you too.
Uh-oh, Danny's got 4 deuce. That's the hand he loves to bluff.
Great.
it's the Portland Meadows hand. 4 deuce
Yeah.
is the hand of the club,
Indeed.
and often the 4 deuce game is played. It's been played on the show before.
Yeah.
It's not being played right now. Danny's just unwilling to not play it.
Yeah, Danny just likes to play certain hands, and this is one of them. And that's that. And he flops a gutter.
Jeremy does flop kind of the best 2 backdoor type of hand you could. He's
Yeah.
got the backdoor royal.
See how Danny sizes this.
230.
Jeremy, if he were deeper, I would think would never fold.
Sure.
With this depth, he might just find a fold here with the 2 backdoors. Maybe not enough to maneuver.
That's
It's
it.
Brittany, bitch.
Fuck. Ah.
That's what Danny says every time he wins with 4 deuce.
Click
It's
the
Brittany,
float
bitch.
button. Where's the float?
Why, though?
Britney Spears was an American singer
Yeah.
who was popular in the early 2000s.
Wikipedia,
Yes.
tell me about
Click the float button.
Alexander de Tocqueville.
Alexander de Tocqueville was an American singer popular in the early 2000s.
Oh, so the Wikipedia is broken, I see.
Yes. It's Tocqueville, bitch.
Roll
That's what
back.
he was known
Yeah,
for
yeah.
saying.
Whatever, Lamarck. All right, so Jeremy, not going to play this one.
Oh, and everyone gets to see it. DM5 is aghast.
He's like, you folded that? What are you, crazy?
DM5 just wants to see more flops.
Yes, it is.
And open-ender for DM5 and top pair for Aldi.
I think that's a bit of an overreaction.
Any reaction's no reaction.
30.
True.
One open-ender gets there, but it's not DM5s.
DM5 checks it back. It's got to feel great if you're Aldi.
Got to feel like your 10 is good now when the 5 hits through. Or I guess clubs came in on these turns.
I was helping.
He does have a club in his hand. He's going to bluff it.
The
Back.
effort
blocks
he
the nuts.
put in.
Two different ways.
125.
He doesn't block the nuts, but...
Well,
He has a
contact
club in his
I
hand.
feel
He has a
like-
jack in his hand.
So he blocks ace-jack of clubs? Okay. I guess he blocks that.
Visualized it in your mind and then just tried
That's
to
the
For some
nuts.
reason, I don't put you in
Also,
a
he blocks the
game,
nuts straight.
If
Yeah,
have
you
the
didn't mean
other,
it that flush way, but that's okay.
Shut up.
Alti makes the call.
You know? Poker flush.
All the
Okay.
feels good. Feels good to get the W there.
Yep.
I mean, you know, it's a real thing that like you can bring the cards, right? Sometimes you just know. It is gross though. Like sometimes you just know like something really gross is about to happen.
Intuition.
We get a full round one time. You 60, 80.
Danny's trying to get more money in the pot
Good.
before anybody
Yeah.
sees their cards.
I think DM5 would be in for that, and he is.
60
Yep.
and
Stewart is
80.
going to continue as well.
Stewart's down for this type of stuff.
You could do it from the small blind.
Use that opportunity.
Fold.
$20. Every single player has money in front of them.
And Stewart has a big hand again.
Opportunity.
He does.
This time he's got the ace
Running so
queen.
good, I should take advantage of opportunities like this.
Absolutely.
Fold.
Jeremy with a pretty decent hand.
Gonna have to open this one.
Yep.
Raise 300.
Is Danny gonna call this?
No, come on.
You know he wants to.
He wants to. He might. I don't know.
Danny is capable of calling this, but
He
he's
lets
gonna
it go.
fold.
It looks like he had to think about it. And
So what do you do if you're Stewart here? Jeremy's got 2K effective. Do you just move him in and pray that you don't get snapped, or do you just call?
you have position, so that entices me to call.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of position, I'd be more apt to raise.
Yeah, I think it's a call as
I
well.
don't want to do a flop.
Jeremy's like, okay, here we go.
Kind of hate having 2 7s here.
Yeah,
And that's a great flop for
Ooh.
Stewart. Now
It-
he's got an easy decision.
it feels it's a pretty safe board for 2 7s. Not ideal, but it's pretty good. Stewart has very few 6s.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth a bet.
Absolutely.
Bet 250.
Could even down bet a bit more. I guess there's 2 spades out there, so maybe 250 is about right. Stewart could just raise right now with SPR.
He could.
Would be reasonable, but calling is fine too, of course. I don't think Jeremy's going to have a ton of bluffs on turns and rivers.
There's not much you have to protect against as Stewart. Like a king is the only bad card, really. You have the ace of spades in your hand.
Now, the 8 shouldn't affect the hand too much, and Jeremy's going to check.
Makes sense. If Stewart's got spades, you can let him bluff. If Stewart has value, you get to control the pot.
I think I like a check back from Stewart here. I don't think Jeremy has too many check calls. With hands like this, I think he might just fold when Stewart bets. It's quite possible. We've seen Jeremy play cautiously in
we
poker
have.
time so far.
That is true. He folded that ace queen before. Stewart's going to bet. Stewart
475.
disagrees.
Now, Jeremy is certainly aware that Stewart's capable of having spades here.
475 into 1200. Stewart's trying to make it pretty inviting to stick around. And Stewart's just got to believe he almost always has the best hand, of course, when Jeremy checks this turn. And
Yep. He's
Jeremy
gonna get
is
the call.
quickly calling, so.
I think Stewart was targeting pairs below the queen. I think that was his goal there.
Well,
And another 8 comes in. Very rarely hits either player.
yeah.
Check.
Jeremy checks again. You just have to think you're good as Stewart pretty much always.
Probably worth a move in here. Try to get that last 1.3K from a non-believing jacks or 10s.
That's what you're going to need.
I don't see Jeremy calling with this hand, but you know, spades did miss. It's basically the same thing as
It
jacks and 10s.
It is the same thing. If you're Jeremy, you know when you're in these spots and you're like, well, if he's got a bluff, I do want him to bluff because I get more money, but only if I'm going to call. You know, so like,
Yeah, Stewart should show him the ace of spades and bet. That's what he should do.
oh, that would be interesting. He can do that. We are playing rules such that you can show your hand once your head's up. Won both cards. You can say whatever you want.
Oh.
And he moves in, and Jeremy gives all his time cards up right away.
Actually, I've been thinking about this for a while now because I was pretty sure you were clicking that button. Well, don't actually add them. Can you remove them?
Okay.
Thanks. Well, no.
You owe
You're
one.
good.
All right. We'll figure it out.
You only owe one so far.
We'll figure it out.
What do you think is Jeremy here if you're in this
Pretty
spot?
Sure I wasn't folding on most rivers. But
That's true. This is a river not to fold on.
I mean, I guess
If you've decided you're calling the river, this card shouldn't change your plan.
Stewart could have ace 8 of spades, perhaps.
Yes, that is a hand he could show you. for sure. You may think he's just going to raise ace-8 of spades on the flop, though. Of course, if he's doing that, then we should fold because that means all the flush draws would erase us, right? That's the problem. Would Stewart really just call on the flop with spades when the SPR was what it was?
He might in position on a down bet on a paired board.
Maybe. You worry you're going to get blown off the hand on the turn, though.
Yeah, but that's just life in poker sometimes, man.
Yeah.
See, Jeremy's really not enjoying his spot here.
So by now, Stewart is sure he's got the best hand.
Oh, yeah. He's loving it. He's just like, how can I make it look like I'm bluffing? And he's just deciding to go with looking down and shuffling chips, which trying to affect bluffing is probably usually a bad idea. So it's probably right just to try to do nothing.
To be clear, of course, Stewart was sure he had the best hand about
A while ago.
2.5 seconds after he moved in and Jeremy didn't call.
Yeah.
To be
Jeremy's calling with kings. He's going to make this sad face and call with kings.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
just going to do it quickly. He certainly wouldn't take anywhere close to this amount of time.
So you have more chips.
Still got 1.3K behind here.
Can beat spades. And he's got 5 seconds left to make a decision.
I think you have one more.
There he is. He has another.
He has one more time card. Okay.
30 more seconds for Jeremy. All his time extensions being used. The pot is not really 7.4K because it's counting all of Stewart's.
But my body.
Okay, R. Kelly.
My gut. My gut. Ugh. I don't have.
Pot is more really like 3,800, 4,000, something like that. And he does make the call.
At the last second, he makes the call, and that's going to hurt. That's 1.3K.
Wow.
And that puts Jeremy off the screen there because he's got no chips left. But as you can see, Stewart has really climbed all the way back.
Stewart's chip stack has caught up with Danny's, although not his winnings, but still, holy moly.
Could have quite a confrontation. But unfortunately, it's over.
All right, see you next week on
What a
Poker
way to
Time.
end it.
Incredible.
What a way.
Incredible.